Hi, this is a video tutorial for making hair strands to edit an AV pic in IMVU. First off, what you want to do is open a new image, about 500 by 500 pixels, and make your background transparent. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to select a hairbrush. And it really doesn't matter right now which brush we're picking because we're just going to do a quick tutorial. Make sure that your brush fits within your box. Click a couple times so that it gets a little darker. And then over here on your layer palette, add a new layer and drag it underneath the hair strand you just made. That way, what you can do is you can flood fill it a lighter color than what your hair strand is. And you can see your details a little better when you're doing them. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on the layer 1 and add another layer. We're going to go over here and we're going to get our white. We're going to go to another brush, another hairbrush, and we're just going to click that right on top of that. So what we want to do here is we want to erase anything that's on the outside of the hair strand. We're going to Control T, and what that does is it puts up this box so that you can adjust the size and width of the strand that you just made. The white is so that we can do the highlights in the hair. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the smudge tool and we're just going to smudge through this a little bit so that it gets into the strands of the hair that you did the first time. It doesn't look very good right now, but you'll see what's going to happen after we've done all the steps. So just smudge it however much you want. You can use your brush down a little bit, get it a little bit more strandy. And just do this until you have just a little bit like lines, however much you like. Okay, we're going to leave that there. Now what you want to do is you want to get your eraser. You want to set the opacity for your eraser down to about 50%. And then you want to make sure that the hardness is set down so that it will blur it a little bit on the edges. And then you just come in here and swipe it through a few times. That way it doesn't erase all of it, but it gets some of it. And then go back over to your smudge tool. Smudge it again so that you don't have any weird looking lines. And then what you want to do is you want to go back in with your Control T and make this just a little smaller so that your whole strand isn't highlighted. And then you can smudge it a little bit more. And what this does is it helps to bring the bottom layer of your strand up through there, but it still leaves the nice highlights in the hair. And then what you want to do is you want to merge, you want to turn off the color layer, merge these two layers visible, turn your background layer back on again so you can see it. And then you can get your dodge tool. You can set the brush down a little bit in size. Make sure that it says mid-tones and set your exposure down to like 30, 35. And then you just go through and make a swipe. Do a couple of them. It just depends on the effect that you're trying to get and how much highlight you're looking for. Okay, so what we want to do next is burn it just a little bit so that the highlights aren't so prominent. Because later what you're going to want to do is you're going to go ahead and re-edit it once it's on your head. And I have an AV pic that I can show you how this works. If you Control T, you can manipulate the size of the strand so that when you put it on, it'll go with the head. And just place the strands where you want them. See how the highlights are coming through, but it's not real bright so that it doesn't look all funky. And then just drag this down to your new layer tab down here at the bottom of your layers palette. And I usually do about 2 strands on top of each other, that way it's not so light. And then just simply keep pulling them down here until, and moving them around wherever you want them. And you can do this with any of your hair strands. You can also Control T, and if you hold down your Alt Shift key and pull the sides in, it'll flip the rotation of the hair, and that way you can turn it also for the other side of the head. Of course, I'm just using one hair strand now, but there are so many different possibilities that you can do when editing hair. And just simply keep pulling it down. Now, if you notice that you want the strand that you just pulled down to be under the one that you just, the one above it, just click one layer below and then you can pull it down and turn it and manipulate it any way you want. And what I do is when I do this, I just erase the part on that layer that I don't want. Make sure that your opacity is 100% or it won't get it all. And then you just place it wherever you need on the head. And that's the hair tutorial. Enjoy. Thank you.